and so mighty as the sun. Accordingly, no one can stand above or look down upon the emperor. When he passes through the streets, all windows above the first floor must be tightly shuttered. The train to Tokyo from anywhere in Japan is the up train to Tokyo because the emperor lives there. Nor can the emperor be imitated in any way. Only his automobile may be maroon-colored. Not even his tailor may touch the person of the emperor, for who would lay hands upon the sun? If you are Japanese, it actually hurts your eyes to look at Hirohito.
What comes to mind when I mention the bloodiest war in history? Guns, planes, tanks? When you think of concentration camps, do you imagine Nazis or Jews? Today, we will learn about how many of the worst atrocities in World War II happened in our backyards. This is World War II Anti-Japanese Propaganda by Jordan Shop and Anirudh Venkatesh. Some words that can be used to describe the effect of World War II propaganda in the U.S. is discrimination, harassment, and embarrassment.
So, what is propaganda? Propaganda is information that is especially biased or misleading, used to promote or publicize a particular political cause. In World War II, the political information is the war between the Axis and the Allied powers. The propaganda was used greater at that time. The only other famous propaganda before World War II propaganda is Paul Revere's drawing of the Boston Massacre.
All the countries that participated in World War II had one of the most powerful weapons anybody could possess: propaganda. They would poke at each other's people. Japanese children born in the United States were treated like Jews in Germany. Theodore Dr. Seuss Geisel was an influential member of the lead to racism.
These posters, such as Tokyo Kid, enforced racial stereotypes and dehumanized the Japanese people with monster-like teeth and a bloodthirsty grin.
The sign says that the waste of materials of the Allied countries makes the Japanese happy, as it'll help them win the war. This is why propaganda was used. It makes Americans conserve materials. Posters such as these promoted carpooling to conserve resources. A large company that participated with creating videos and a TV series is Disney. As shown, Disney created a series using one of the most famous characters, Donald Duck. These videos embarrassed and humiliated the capability and beliefs of the Japanese.
Concentration camps in the U.S. That sounds pretty far-fetched, right? Well, over 127,000 U.S. citizens were put in concentration-like camps just for having Japanese heritage. It was President Roosevelt who signed the unconstitutional order in 1942 to relocate all Japanese Americans to internment camps in the U.S. These citizens could have never even set foot in Japan, or even could have been World War I veterans.
After Japan bombed Pearl Harbor in 1941, rumors spread, which was fueled by race prejudice. All Japanese were required to evacuate the West Coast. The internment camps were a key role in the containment of Japanese royalists in World War II, which is what helped us win the war.
It may be surprising that the author of greats such as The Cat in the Hat or The Lorax made ugly caricatures for propaganda in World War II. He made Hitler and Japanese propaganda. His anti-Japanese propaganda had racism included, unlike the anti-Nazi propaganda. Racial stereotypes that are near taboo to make fun of today were common throughout his works. These included buck teeth, slanted eyes, and replacing R's with L's. None of the thousands of Japanese Americans have been convicted of treason in World War II, unlike the monsters we made them out.
Hey there, Marvel fans. Wait until you hear this. Marvel was also part of the propaganda creation. One of their most famous characters, Captain America, was created in 1941 during World War II. He was created as a super soldier who fought for the Allied powers during the war. Marvel was like Disney, who also made propaganda videos at that time. All these videos and characters were creating hatred between the countries, which would eventually lead to help us win the war. Warner Bros., the entertainment company that produced childhood favorites such as Scooby-Doo and the Lego Movie, added propaganda into one of their most popular childhood cartoon, Bugs Bunny. As shown in the video, Warner Bros. Is poking fun at the Japanese religion and culture. The video shows the soldier digging up the soil with his own hands like an animal and shouting it in so-called Japanese at the same time. This shows the involvement in World War II propaganda Warner Bros. Had, like the other companies, Disney and Marvel. In conclusion, the United States used many forms of propaganda to display their hatred to the Japanese and the Germans. The propaganda might seem like it had a very little impact on World War II, but propaganda is what helped us win the war. Collecting hatred from the other countries showed the significance of words and drawings in one of the largest wars ever fought in history.